All right, everybody, in today's video, we are going to do 5 different ways that you can get your trading day started. Before you head out into the charts, before you do anything else, you can do these 5 things to get yourself prepared for all the trading that lies ahead in the day and get yourself some extra information, kind of go ahead and see what's going on in the markets before you even check anything out. This is going to give you so much useful information before you actually start your trading day so that hopefully we can find some better entries. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in to number 1. And of course, number 1, it has to be the top setups page. The top setups page is basically like the home page in the Edge Finder. This has every single asset that we track. We can see all of our different biases over here on the left. Every single thing that's scored, like I said, every single asset. It's the complete package when it comes to getting an overview of the market right now. So let me show you a few different little tricks that you can do with this, more so than just look at the numbers, because obviously, yes, the numbers are very helpful. I know that Euro NZD, Pound NZD, Euro AUD, Pound AUD, these things seem to be in a strong upward trend. But what do you notice more so than just the bias and the score? If you take a closer look at the currency pairs, it'll actually tell you which currencies have strong momentum and which currencies are selling off. So like, again, what I notice when I'm looking at this is number 1, 2, 3, and 4, I see Euro NZD, Pound NZD, Euro AUD, Pound AUD. So right off the bat, what that's kind of telling me is it looks like the New Zealand dollar is selling off. It looks like the Australian dollar is selling off. And it looks like the euro and the pound have some momentum. If we take a look at some of these other bullish assets, I see the pound here again. Looks pretty strong. And I see the yen selling off, US dollar with some momentum. Again, yen selling off, euro with some momentum. You can kind of see the trend. We're taking a look at, what currencies are paired up with each other, what's being bought and what's being sold. So I bet if we go to the bearish side, we'll pretty much see the opposite of this. I expect to see the New Zealand dollar and the Australian dollar selling off hard if we go to the bearish side. And that's exactly what we see. Our first 4 or 5 pairs, pretty much all of our bearish pairs are either an Australian dollar or New Zealand dollar cross. So that's one quick way that you can kind of get a little foresight into what's buying and what's selling in the market without even having to open up any charts. I just like that, I knew New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar looking pretty weak, euro, pound, US dollar looking pretty strong. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 2. Number 2 on my list is going to be the Market Heatmap. I love looking at the Market Heatmap. It's such a simple page in the Edge Finder, but it is so useful for getting an overview of the market. Again, so what we're looking at with the Market Heatmap here is we can see the percentage change from market open to right now. So basically you can see what is trending, what is moving the most, and in what direction from market open in the US to right now. So what we're looking at here, USD CHF is our biggest mover of the day when it comes to currency pairs. It's up 0.51% on the day. Market analysis, free trading courses, Edge Finder data, and special offers. What do these things all have in common? They're all available for you right now inside of our free Discord. You can click the link down in the description below to join the free Discord today and get access to all of this and more. Stay up to date with all the latest trading information and A1 content. And if you want to upgrade to our Gold VIP Discord that features every single trade that Trader Nick and our other professional analysts take, you can find the links for that in the description as well. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today. Gold up 0.26% on the day. And then if we want to look down here, CHF, JPY down 0.5% on the day. We have our indices up here. NASDAQ and German 30 both up 0.74% on the day. So again, kind of a broad, just, overview of the market, see what's trending, see what's trending up, see what's trending down, how strong, how little. And the other really nice thing about the market heat map is it's getting updated every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, it is checking for the current price and it is running it through our system and it's updating with the current price and the current percentage. And you can see that right here. So it actually just got updated. It has a little bit more time till its next update, but I'll show you this really quickly just because it's cool. If you go to data updates and sources right here, down here at the very bottom of the Edge Finder, you can actually see the update log. You can see all the different things that are getting updated. The last time it was updated, it's update interval, so you can see price quote / market heat map. It gets updated every 15 minutes. It was just last updated 12 minutes ago, so that we know that we're looking at information that's only 2 minutes old. So this is still very current, very relevant information here in the market heat map. And again, it's showing you how everything, all these different assets are trending, what percentage, either up or down. So again, you can go ahead without even looking at the markets. I know that USD CHF, it's up today. It's up 0.51%. It's trending in the right direction. So maybe that's something that I want to take a look at, see if it's going to continue to follow that trend the rest of the day. Who knows? But that, that's a good way to start right there. Number 3, we are coming in right under the market heat map right here to our economic calendar. Now this one is for our fundamental people. If you are not a fundamental person, I highly suggest that you look into fundamentals, because those big spikes in the market, that is fundamental news. Not everything is just trends and price action. News very, very much matters. And you can check up on all the latest news here in the economic calendar. This is something that I would especially do to start your trading week. On Monday or Sunday, hop into the economic calendar and look at this. We have all of these important news events. If it's something that you should pay attention to, it's in the economic calendar. There's a lot more news happening than this, but not every, piece of news affects price drastically or even at all. But if it's on here, chances are it's going to affect price in some way. So like on Tuesday, we can see that we had Canadian CPI, US Empire State Manufacturing Index. We had some news over in China. Yesterday, we had, pound CPI, US news, Australian news. Today, US unemployment claims. We actually have the actual numbers here as well. This is the time that the news was released. Here was the report. Unemployment claims, our previous report came out at 203,000. It was expecting to go up even more than that, 206,000 unemployment claims coming in, which would not have been, great for the unemployment rate if even more people are filing for unemployment than the last report. But that didn't happen. We actually had less than expected, only 187,000 people. So silver lining in there. It was better, or it was not as many people as they were expecting. So again, and that affects price, that affects dollar, US pairs, gold, stocks, indices, things like that. So definitely something to pay attention to. And then I can see that tomorrow, Friday, at 2 a.m., because we're here on the East Coast of the US, the UK is releasing their retail sales. And tomorrow, 10 a.m., US has preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment. And again, our previous and expected numbers. So again, economic calendar, super, super useful. We can look at weeks ahead. All of this information just available for you. Definitely pay attention to that, because if you get caught in a position and you don't realize that there's news coming, and it absolutely takes you out of your position that's been running really nicely, that's an unfortunate thing. You got to pay attention to news events so you don't get stuck in a situation where it just absolutely drops on you because of a bad news report. You don't want that to happen. Coming in here at number 4, we have the risk on, risk off gauge. And I think that this is a tab in the Edge Finder that does not get talked about enough. This is actually a really cool feature. And if you're unfamiliar with what risk on, risk off is, we have a little cheat sheet here for you. Risk on assets are the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, the pound, the gold, and the euro. Risk on is when there is optimism in the stock market. If indices, stocks, the overall market is trending pretty well, there's really no need for concern. These are assets that typically do very well. Gold is going up, stocks are going up, usually not a great thing for the US dollar. However, risk off assets, the dollar, the Swiss franc, and the yen, when there's pessimism in the stock market and a need for a safe haven currency. So the market isn't doing very well, maybe you've had some bad GDP reports or something like that. Gold is dropping, the S&P is dropping. What typically tends to happen? People go to safe haven currency, something like the dollar. It doesn't happen all the time, but that's typically how these things seem to work out. So if somebody says that the sentiment in the market is risk on, that we're talking about these assets here for potential bullish entries. But if the market is risk off, we are looking at these as bullish and these as bearish, most likely. So it's taking in all that different information. It's looking at the actual market, and the algorithm is scoring based on how things are trending if it looks like a risk on or risk off type of day, week, or month. It's actually tracking every single day, and it's compiling all of that so that in a 7-day period, this continues to update, and in a 30-day period, all of that data again is getting logged together, and this is getting updated and scored so that you can kind of get an idea if today is a risk on, risk off day, if this was a risk on, risk off week, or if this was a risk on, risk off month. Now, today, unfortunately, while I'm filming this, it doesn't seem like we really have a bias one way or the other. We're not looking risk on and we're not looking risk off. In fact, on a weekly, we're kind of leaning risk off, but on the monthly, we're kind of leaning risk on. I'll tell you when this is really, really something you should pay attention to: when all three are leaning one way or the other. It is possible, if certain things are happening in the market, and it just so happens that it is a risk off type of month. It's just what it is. And you notice this dial in the red because all month it's been risk off. This dial's in the red because all week it's been risk off. And this dial's in the red because all day it's been risk off. Then this is something that you're definitely going to want to check out. All right, you're definitely going to take a look at US dollar pairs, Swiss franc pairs, yen pairs. Look for, bullish entries, potential bullish entries, and look at these for some potential bearish entries, and then vice versa. Risk on, same thing. But again, I wish that we had a little bit more to show you here with some scores, but that's just the way that the markets work. You can't always predict which way it's going to, the markets are going to trend. And today just happens to be it's really not leaning one way or the other, which is normal. So finally, the last thing that we are going to take a look at when it comes to getting your day started, we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to look at two different things, but I'm classifying it as one because we're going to take a look at sentiment. We're going to take a look at retail sentiment, and we are going to take a look at COT data as well. But let's start with retail. So retail positioning, or we're looking at here, retail sentiment is just what day traders, what people like you and me, what are we buying and selling in the market? And so this can be super useful to take a look at because you can just get an idea of what the crowd is doing. And unfortunately, more oftentimes than not, the crowd is losing money. So you can take a look at what they are buying and selling and decide, do you want to go with what everyone else is doing? Or should I look for, a reversal? Should I look to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing? But I'm going to show you a few different ways that we can look at retail positioning, starting off by taking a look at major currency pairs only. So I know that the overall crowd is buying USD CHF. They are buying the Australian dollar against the dollar, and they are also buying NZD USD, right? So 84% long, 71% long, 63% long. The crowd is buying those three pairs today. That means this red here probably not looking too good for those pairs because, again, unfortunately, most of the time people lose money in the markets. That's why you need to know this stuff. That's why you need to look at the edge finder so that you can be more prepared and know what to do and also know what not to do. The dollar yen here, people are shorting the dollar yen. That's giving us this blue bullish signal right here on dollar yen. Let's take a look at the indices as well. Indices, most people selling the indices. German 30, S&P 500, US 30, and NAS and JP225 all getting sold off right now. And I can just tell you personally, I've been looking at the charts and I know that indices they've been doing pretty well for themselves over the past couple of days. So I don't know why so many people are selling them off, but I probably would not recommend it, but you do you. One other thing I'd like to show you really quickly. I'm going to go back to this. What did I say in the beginning of the video? I knew that the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar were selling off just purely based on not even just what people are trending or trading, but just everything. COT bias, retail, seasonality, the current trend, economic news, inflation news, labor market news, interest rates, all the different things that we score to get the overall bias on the asset. I knew that New Zealand was selling off. I knew that Australian dollar was selling off, right? We saw that pretty clearly here in our top setups page. And what are the retail traders doing? They're buying the Australian dollar and they're buying the New Zealand dollar. Just in case you needed any more evidence to day traders can tend to lose a lot of money when you don't pay attention to stuff like this, right? Finally, we're going to finish up with the COT data. Again, I'm classifying all of this in sentiment at number 5 for what you should look at before you start your trading day. And this is to see what smart money traders are doing. Now, unlike retail traders, smart money traders, where our COT data is coming from, they know what they're doing when they're trading. And they usually don't lose too much money when they're trading. So it is not a bad idea to take into consideration what smart money traders are doing. So example, smart money traders, they're shorting the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. And they're long things like gold, euro, oil. We got some metals here, silver and platinum. They're kind of 50-50 on the US dollar, and they're really liking the ZAR, the South African Rand at the moment. So this, along with this chart here, which if you want a full breakdown on what this chart is right here, that was what I did in yesterday's video. Go check out the video before this one if you want a full comprehensive breakdown of all of these numbers that you're looking at right here. And I promise you, if you pay attention through the end of the video, you might just change the way that you're trading based off of this information right here. It is very, very useful stuff. But those are 5 different things that I would recommend you look at before you get your trading day started. Now, you don't have to look at all 5 every single day. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you tomorrow. Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.